Hey guys, it's Opposite here. So, a few days ago I've seen the Marvel movie Spider-Man Far From Home. People seemed rather excited for this one, but I already set my expectations low, and as usual with MCU films, they did not surprise me for the better. This movie had a job that was fairly easy, to make people interested in the most popular movie franchise nowadays, especially after the Endgame's financial success. But why do I find it to be so mediocre, so meh? Obviously, spoiler alert, and let's find out. As usual, I want to start with the good parts of the film, because I do not simply hate it, I just think it's very generic. I really like the fact that they made this movie scale smaller than the last ones. The new villain is coming to destroy the world trope was getting tiresome. I also like the depiction of Aunt May and MJ as a younger and edgier and more capable as people. For once, an MCU film did not focus on the superhero saving his beloveds from the villain who kidnapped them. I like the character of Michelle a lot. She was cool, harsh and interesting. She did not feel like another of these girls, but rather had a unique, sarcastic and more humane personality that people can actually relate to. I also liked how they made Stark's death an important theme in the movie and the various comparisons between him, Mysterio and Spider-Man. Just like with the Endgame, there were some jokes that actually landed, and some character development of Peter, which was pretty nice. But it's less fun to talk about the good parts, right? So now I expand the bad parts and why I dislike the film. First of all, like with most MCU films, the Mysterio guy was very boring. After a few minutes I realized that the elemental things were a joke. Even Marvel are not that childish to make a film with them as villains. And since villains usually play a big role in the story, wouldn't it be wiser and more surprising to not include him in the start of the movie out of nowhere? His character was also pretty boring, just a pitiful trickster with a very generic motivation. His henchmen and general plan was boring as well, since it had no big effect on the story except for Peter himself. Just like most Marvel films, they've sacrificed the realism of how things would be for the heroism and morals of the story. The humor was even more forced on this one, although it's already a tradition with Spider-Man films. However, unlike Sam Raimi's trilogy, this has no meme potential and it is not that funny. Marvel are too meta and way too awkward in the way they portrayed both the romance, which I will get to in a second, and the humor of the movie. It was a bit better than the Endgame in that regard, but not by much. Third point is the romance. Both the Ned and the May romances came off as pretty random and did not have any interesting development for them. 1 second that girl does not care about Ned, then boom, they are girlfriend and boyfriend. I do not say much here about the Peter romance because except some few cringe scenes in the start of the movie, due to Michelle's unusual character, it actually went not that bad. Now, the fourth point is when the movie becomes less than average and mediocre, the wasted potential. Remember what I said before, Stark's death as a theme? Well, the movie started with another really good theme, which it literally abandoned after like 6 minutes, the blip thing. Why would not the film use it just overall, to display the change, the way things are different, not just for a precious little superhero, but in general for the people that blipped? Why introduce a concept only to drop it off when the plot calls the hero to talk with his beloved? As usual, MCU's attempts at making the movies deep come off as dumb and uninspired. The Stark theme worked, but what of the world around it? And that's why I dislike Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't hate it like I hated Endgame, I don't feel like it's overrated because it did not become the literal highest grossing film of all time because of nothing but pure fanboys, but still, it is a mediocre movie with very few good scenes and themes. I hope Marvel will make less generic plots and villains next time and will learn to make more characters like Michelle. Maybe then, people other than the fanboys will watch them not because of necessity and because everybody does, because they are actually masterpieces that will stay as cultural milestones like the Dark Knight trilogy and Star Wars. But I don't believe it would happen. Do you? What do you think about all of this? Did you like or hate this film? Or did you feel like me that it's kinda meh and that's it? What do you think about what I said? Tell me all in the comments below. Thanks for watching and until next time, this has been Opposite, signing off.